as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
I have been trying to get the lovely Karen Danzig on the show for eons, it feels like. Karen, welcome to Marbella now.
Thank you, it's lovely to be here. Thanks, Nicole. Lovely to see you.
I wonder if I can think of anything to say. I'm starstruck. When I want to go out for an evening and really relax and guaranteed have a good time, then the hitman and her, the lovely Karen, is definitely very enticing because it's always a guaranteed fun night. You're so versatile.
Thank you, thank you. We love what we do, we love performing. So Bill and I, we do really, you know, give off good energy, I think, when we're gigging, you know.
You can just see it, the beaming. Does your face hurt all that smiling? I mean,
sometimes.
No wonder you look so young. She's always exercising all those muscles. They're keeping it perfect. Karen, you've been performing and delighting people with your voice since you were really tiny. You actually studied classical singing to start with.
Yes, I did, yes. I'd studied classical singing for many, many years because I wanted to learn how to sing properly so that I wouldn't damage my voice and that I also would know what I'm talking about. And that's been very useful for me because I teach singing as well. So, and also I run a couple of choirs here. We've got the Del Sol Singers groups, and it's very useful to know what you're talking about when you're faced with a big group of people who want to learn to sing.
You actually went with, as a child, you're young, in that choir concept, you were with a choir that performed at the Palladium, one of the most emblematic places I remember as a child.
That was a fantastic experience. That really was amazing. To sing at the London Palladium, I think it was about 3,000 people. I was quite young and I opened the show performing with a load of dancers. It was an incredible experience, very, very nerve-wracking, but really, really exciting. That really was wonderful. And then I went on to sing with the National Youth Choir of Great Britain, and we did a world tour, which was 2 months. A long time ago, back in 1992, but I really cut my teeth on the touring and the choir work with that. That was a fantastic experience. Australia, New Zealand, America, Singapore, travelled all over, and we were singing in these fantastic cathedrals, great, you know, the City Cathedral in Sydney and San Francisco. That really was a wonderful experience as a teenager. Fantastic.
Music is feeling, passion. When you sing on your own, obviously it has a certain special quality, but when you get to sing and hear that resonance of voices, obviously it's something that really has hit home with you because you bring this joy now, as I say, to the Costa del Sol singers and other people, locals. You can also get involved. You just have to contact Karen. But that feeling of singing as a group, it's very healthy, the joy that transmits.
Yeah, there is something quite magical and uplifting about singing in a group. And also, I mean, there have been a lot of recent studies that prove that singing in a choir is really good for you mentally and physically. So I get all ages in my choir, young and old, and what's lovely is after each session they go out beaming. They're all, and they say, "Oh, Karen, it's been a great session." We feel very uplifted, and there is something magical about singing with a group of people. It's very good for the soul.
You've obviously always had this feeling of group, of belonging, of sharing glory. You started your own girl band when you were young, and in fact, I believe you're on one of the first X Factor.
We were, yeah, back in the day. Oh my goodness, this is going back. I started my own girl band and I wrote all the songs, and it was a 3-piece, and we did a lot of gigs around London, showcases. We were learning dance routines. We really wanted to be the next Mystique or the next Destiny's Child. This was way back when Destiny's Child first came out, but we were all white and British, and we really thought, we had a good chance. And we were great. We were doing a lot of performances, like I said.
What was it like in the X Factor? Who were the judges?
Well, so then the X Factor came along, and we thought maybe this is our big chance to really launch ourselves. And the whole day was firstly very, very nerve-wracking. I just remember being so unbelievably nervous, practically shaking all day. There's a lot of waiting around, and that makes you even more nervous. And we were doing a lot of rehearsing just out of off stage, and it was really nice because lots of people who were competitors would come up and go, "Wow, you girls can really sing," and we felt quite confident. And so then we went in front of the judges. So it was
Simon Cowell
with the original judges, Simon Cowell, Louis Walsh, and Sharon Osbourne. And to walk in that room and be filmed, and you're there, and there's the panel, it's really quite
overwhelming. I'm sure, yes.
It's quite frightening and scary. So, but we really believed in ourselves. We thought we had a good chance. So we did some of our songs, some of our routines, but sadly we didn't really get very far. And the comments were not as positive as we had hoped. And but it was a great experience, and it was really during that day we were watching the acts that were going through to the next round, and we realised it wasn't really about who could sing really well. It was much more about a novelty. So there were a couple of acts we were like, these are really bad singers, and they would come out, we got through, and we'd be like, oh my goodness, how on earth did they get
they're looking
through?
for entertainment value, not just talent. Is what's going to keep people watching.
So that was when we realised it didn't matter that we didn't get through to the next round, because actually it wasn't going to be the TV show that we thought it was going to be. So, and you know, you see it now, it's a lot about...
And everything prepares you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience, really, it really bonded us as a group to go through that experience together. You know, we carried on recording and performing, and it was a great time in my life, very exciting.
It's always, I think it's fascinating. We on it every week on our show, the lovely Rowan Litchfield, because she has a deaf friend, she's learned sign language, and she does a different word or expression every week on Marbella now.
Very
good. I love shopping. Basically, it's my favourite word. Let's go shopping. I think it's fascinating. I mean, we've got goosebumps. You grew up in a family where the only hearing person was your brother and yourself.
Yes.
So your sibling, your parents weren't hearing, and yet you have this gift for voice that they can't hear. But you would know this. Do they get to? Can they feel it when you sing? Do they get to feel that vibration, that joy?
You're absolutely right. Although they can't actually hear, my mum was very supportive. When I was at school, I was always singing in all the concerts. I used to get the solos and the leads, and she'd always come and she'd sit right at the front, and everybody knew that was my mum. She'd sit there, and she had one of those fake fur coats, and they'd say, "Oh, that's Karen's mum," and she'd be feeling the vibrations through the floor. And also we would always print out the words, the lyrics, so that she'd have the words on her lap, and she'd be looking up to sort of lip read, but she could feel it through the floor. And I know she was very proud of me at that time. She was, you know,
sure.
she was...
I mean, I know just sitting next to you, you can feel that vibe. And so when you're enjoying something and you feel it's the energy and vibrations, it does move the air, space round us. I do feel that you can feel music. So it's lovely that you have this gift, and it just goes to show that the contrast in life can only make us grow.
Thank you.
Where are you now putting your roots? Where is the Karen Danzig roots extending to now?
Well, my career has changed so much through the years. So I started doing classical singing, and then I went to university and I was teaching. Had my girl band in London, worked with Stock and Aitken, which that was another.
That must have been absolutely
so exciting,
especially in those days when they were like the bee's knees in the 80s.
It was really that really was a big deal for me. And then I went on to have my own chart success. Had a big top 20 record in the UK. This was 2005, and that opened a lot of doors for me. I spent the next 5 or 6 years touring, and we got very lucky. We ended up doing arena tours all around the country, and we'd get to go to Europe, and we travelled all over the place doing huge venues. And when you're on stage in an arena and you're doing it was a big club anthem called Heartbeats, and I'd be jumping around on stage. You look out to the stage and from the stage, and you see thousands of people with their hands in the air singing the words back to you of the song that you wrote. To me, that it doesn't get any better than that. That really was the best few years of my career, you know, to have that chart hit and to be touring and those live performances were just amazing, incredible experience. But those kind of things, unless you're very, very lucky, they don't last forever. So you still try and you do different things. You have to kind of shape your career and change with what comes with the opportunities that come to you. So now being in Spain, there's a whole different set of opportunities, which actually has been fantastic for me, and I'm really making the most of those opportunities. So first of all, my partner, Bill Padley, very talented, Talk Radio Europe presenter, has had lots of hit records as a songwriter. We started working together when we came here as the Hitman and Her duo, and that's been great. So we do gigs most weekends, which is really fantastic, and we're very lucky. We have a fabulous fan base, group of friends that will come and support us, and for us that makes it really special to look out and see your friends dancing. That's really, really, really great for us. So we've got that, and then I've recently started doing some solo gigs, which is really quite challenging for me because I'm really not very technical. So learning the equipment has been quite a difficult
a new
thing
experience,
for me.
but it's opening again
a new
horizons,
challenge.
exactly.
Yeah, and really, luckily Bill's been helping me a lot, so that's been really good. And starting my choir, the Del Sol Singers, we started about a year ago. A friend of mine gave me the impetus to start it, and it's growing and growing and growing, and we have lots of performances coming up, and that's really been fantastic and a new string to my bow. It's something I hadn't really done in the past, and I'm still doing some recording and some songwriting, not as much as I used to. I've kind of fallen out of that world a little bit, and then another performing relationship has come up over the past year with my good friend Ricky Lavazza, and that again here in Spain has opened up some wonderful opportunities, some wonderful doors for me. Last year we worked on a country music show which we worked on together. We called it Country Roads, and we did the whole summer season in the Moonlight Theatre in Benalmádena doing our Country Roads music show, which was again great experience because you're back in the theatre, and it's a long time since I did theatre work back in London. So to be on the stage again has been fantastic. And he involved me in another of his shows last year called The Greatest Voices, and that was at the Salon Variety Theatre in Fengarola, which is, as most people who've been there would know, it's a fantastic, proper theatre with a big stage, really beautiful theatre. And that was such a thrill for me to be on a proper stage, singing all my favourite songs and friends in the audience, and again, very nerve-wracking, but a new challenge, a new opportunity for me. And Ricky and I are working on new shows, so we've got a new show coming up next weekend, which is another
very exciting. We're actually going
challenge.
to be having a little chat with Ricky to meet him, know a little bit more about him, and then a little bit of you together, maybe to introduce this event, because I think a lot of us would like to be there. Karen, it's lovely to see that you enjoy so much the interaction with your public, and to see the joy that you put into your work. I don't think we call it work, we call it creating. I've decided I no longer go to work, I like to create. And obviously you are a wonderful creator, and it's lovely to have you in our midst for this inspiration. We don't need to go anywhere in Marbella. Why? Because we have people like Karen Danzig right here. Thank you so much, Karen. See you a bit later on in the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
Hello, I'm Brian Litchell from Laude St. Pigeon. Last week's sign was put on your sun cream. One more time, put on your sun cream. This week's sign is beach umbrella. One more time, beach umbrella.
Thank you for joining us here at the Hard Rock Cafe. Come and enjoy the lovely burgers in the World Burger Tour, or all the other delights that they have here, classics from toda la vida. We'll be back tomorrow evening with another program. If you want to check out recordings of this, you can go to our website, marbellanow.tv.com. Hasta mañana.
And it's time